you doing?
Go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, how are you? Congratulations.
Hello.
I'm so excited to be talking to you. My friends would be so jealous. I didn't get to hear your whole acceptance speech, but it
Yeah.
looked like you got emotional. What was going through your head?
I was saying it earlier, man. I've shed so many tears this year, or last year, and this year as well. And it's just crazy. God just keeps making me cry. So, everything. You know, my mom called me this morning. I was telling her I've never written a speech in my life because I'm such a fan of all the people that make music. I'm such a fan of music that I feel like everyone deserves to win. So I'm the guy that's always rooting for the person next to me, you know, like, hey, you got this, because I know they put everything and they deserve it just as much. But for some reason, I said, you know what, I'm gonna write a speech this year. And my mom, she told me a Bible verse, and the Bible verse said, whatever you ask for, I will do. And, you know, I asked that, you know, I wanted this today, you know. I'm a child of immigrants. My parents were, you know, born in Nigeria and came here. And my dad, I know the things he sacrificed to be here, and my mother as well. So to know that I'm an example of that, and I'm from that lineage, and I'm, you know, inspiring people, hopefully, and trying to just live up to my fullest potential. I've had so many dreams of being able to do something like this. I'm from a small town in Virginia. I wasn't the most talented kid in any respect, but I just had dreams. I was a dreamer, and I think this is just a representation of one of my dreams. Just
Yes.
yeah, just, you know, I just feel like all my ancestors and just everyone that's ever believed in me, and my classmates, and
You okay? Have taking a few more
Thank you.
questions from us?
yeah, I'll take more questions. Let's go. Sorry.
No, this is amazing. We
Yeah.
have Steve from Canadian television
Yeah.
right here.
Hey, what's up, Steve?
And he's gonna get a microphone and ask
Yeah.
you a question, and we got
Yeah.
a few more, so.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
good
good
you-
now. So yeah,
It's good to cry, by the way.
yeah. Thank you.
I wanted to ask you a bit on follow-up to that. Why did you want to make the statement about the immigrants that are in the news right now? Have you been hurt watching it? What has been going through your mind, and why did you want to use this platform?
You know, I'm usually someone that's, you know, I try to be careful with, you know, things that are, you know I have a lot of fans, and everyone has different views about different things, and I know there's, you know, you want to keep, you know, the intention sometimes is to keep people safe, but, you know, like I said, I know, you know, the fact that I'm in a family of immigrants, and just watching how hard my mother had to work and has worked. I mean, I'm talking day shifts, night shifts. She paid for all my siblings to go to get into school, no loans or anything. She did it by herself. I just feel like there's so many, you know, when I think of the people that helped my life become easier, or, you know, people that I work with, we're all from somewhere else, you know. Country music is, you know, awesome. I mean, today I was looking, you know, just making sure I have my facts right. You know, the banjo came from West Africa, and that was what my speech was talking about. Irish immigrants and Irish settlers came here, along with, you know, people who were forced to be here, you know, to work on this country. They kept their stories, they kept their traditions, and they could have let all of that die with them. You know, they could have let hope, you know, they had to have hope to bring those stories here. So the fact that country music and music in general is just people being brave and having hope, and just continuing to just keep something alive. I think that's the reason why we're here, able to do all of this, and why we all have jobs, and why we're all celebrating tonight. So, yeah.
I have another question over here on the right-hand side in the back of the room right there.
Congratulations.
Is that what I think it is?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh, I was like, I know that ain't who I think it is. Oh my God. Oh man.
So excited to see you back here.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Tell me what this means to win this award on the heels of the success of Tipsy, to come and get this after that song.
I think it means the world, honestly. I think honestly I prefer it like this just because You know, people might not know this about me, but I'm a huge fan of country music, and you know, people use the word or term purist sometimes, and people don't understand. You know, I love all types of country music, especially the old stuff. So to be able to, after having such a massive song that some people maybe were like, all right, where'd this guy come from? It's an interpolation, it's fun, it's easy, but the fact that I could, you know, come next year and still create songs that aren't, you know, it's not about, you know, Tipsy is about being at the bar drinking, and this one's really about someone who's dealing with real life problems and the consequences and the aftermath of what happens after the party. You know, when you leave the bar, what do you deal with? You know, when you're down, like what's going on? So the fact that I see so many people, I think one of my favorite moments of 2025 was going out into the audience and people being like, your song Good News changed my life. Your song Amen has helped me through. I've had people come up to me and be like, you've helped me through my chemo, you've helped me fight cancer, you know, and I do the same thing. That's why I cry so much. So to have people out there that are enjoying my other, you know, music. I remember when I have an Instagram post I made about Good News recently when I cried on stage because I watched everyone singing that song back to me. Because I know when I started, it was like you're doing 20, 25 minutes just to lead up to the final song, you know, and then you finally get, oh, you know, everyone's out their seats with their phones up. And it's like, man, I had 25 other minutes where I felt like I wasn't getting it. And now with Amen, which we won for, and Good News, I have songs that people are, you know, I'm starting to build something that I feel like is really special. So it's just cool to be able to, you know, get people's ear with Tipsy, but then be able to really show people who I really am and that I really, really care about people. I really, really do. I really, really believe in every single human being on this planet, and they have the potential and the opportunity, if they have the opportunity, can do something special to change lives around them and just be impactful, you know? And yeah.
I have one final question from Ash Mack over here on TV1 in the left-hand side.
SHABOOZEY, congratulations.
Hello.
Come
Yep.
on, BA.
Come on.
Let's come on. Now, I'm Ash Mack from Radio 1 and TV1. You mentioned earlier how you're the person that gives and shares so much to others. And you also mentioned the power of your ancestors and feeling it in this moment. For someone, an artist like you, that clearly has broken records, continues to do so, especially in a genre where a lot of people might not have associated you with the face of country music. What do you say to them, and how and what does support look like to you for this moment moving forward?
Man, you know, I think it's amazing. I think for me, that's why sometimes I give myself such a hard time crying, but I'm like, man, it's not a lot of people that look like me that have been able to come up here. You know, it was a juggernaut, but I will say I love Nashville. I love country music. They're my friends, you know what I mean? Jelly Roll, who I forgot to even shout out because I was so much going on. I just sat down and I got right back up. But, you know, for Jelly Roll to accept me the way he accepted me and his mentorship and his friendship, you know, I talk about it, man. Jelly Roll is one of the hardest working people in music, and I think he's won a couple of these, and he's probably going to win a couple more today. For him to accept me and allow, you know, be a part of the record, you know, especially when I feel like maybe there is a little bit of like, maybe should we work with him? Should we not? Is it country? Is it not? Is it this? Jelly Roll said, I don't care what y'all say, man. He's dope. He's doing cool things, and you know, and he's a storyteller and a singer just like us, who just wants to be authentic and you know, and make and change people's lives. So, you know, shout out Jelly Roll for believing in me and you know, giving me a verse. You know, a lot of people, you know, I'm not, you know, the biggest artist, in you know, but Jelly Roll took a chance, and you know, this is honestly, I dedicate this also to him too as well. You know, and his story, you know, his journey and where he's come from, being, you know, imprisoned in my hometown. We did a show in Charlottesville, I think, and what Jelly Roll did was so inspiring. He made my mom cry. He went to a local prison in Virginia and asked the ward and asked everyone at the prison if he could allow the inmates to leave to sing on stage with him, you know, for the day. And they allowed him, and they allowed them, and it was like one of the most compelling, it's one of the most like incredible things I think I've ever seen in you know, in my life. And he continues to do that every day. So, you know, we prayed a lot on tour, and like, honestly, this just helped restore my faith in God, honestly. You know, this is a miracle in a form of, you know, something really heavy. I'll tell you this, you know. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
congratulations, and thank you
Thank you.
again for coming
Thank you.
back and
Thank you so much.
sharing
Thank
with us.
you.